The officials who were there discovered what had happened and were looking for him. So he jumped out of a window. And when he jumped out of the window, he broke his leg. Everything is breaking in Grenada. People are breaking the rules, they're breaking the law, and they're also breaking their legs. They don't want to follow the rules when it comes to COVID-19. And as a result, COVID-19 is now back in Grenada and we are all in danger. So the Ministry of Health, along with the RGPF, had a press conference yesterday to let us know that the 25th person has been diagnosed with COVID-19 in Grenada. So this person is a returning national. He is Grenadian, but he came from Canada. The quarantine time is now 4 days. On the 4th day, he was tested. And then he was found to be positive. And when they went to tell him, he had gone. So where he was quarantined, he had snuck out and gone back to Tivoli, which is in St. Patrick's. The rumor is that he was socializing and partying. Not only was he found positive, he was asymptomatic. There is a strong possibility that he could have passed it on to other people. Grenada is a small island, which means the minute it starts to spread, it means we are all in danger. So he is person number 1 who is being investigated. There's 3 people being investigated. The second person to be investigated, this person flew into Grenada. Now, when you fly in, you're supposed to have somewhere to go to quarantine, which is not where you live, especially if you live with other people. You're supposed to pay for accommodation in order to quarantine. This person flew in and did not have the paid accommodation to do the quarantine. Now, I'm not sure whether they allowed this person to go home or not. Maybe the government paid for their quarantine, but it becomes a problem if people fly in and say, I haven't got accommodation booked. Then what do we do with them? What if they are positive with COVID-19? Do we allow them to go home? Yes, they could go home to quarantine, but how can we guarantee that they are going to quarantine at home? The third person who is under investigation, and this is the one that I really can't believe. It's like a scene from a comedy movie. A young lady flew in, a returning national, and she was in a designated quarantine establishment. And her boyfriend snuck into the establishment to see her. The officials who were there discovered what had happened and were looking for him. So he jumped out of a window. And when he jumped out of the window, he broke his leg. So they managed to catch him for that reason. I can't even believe that this happened. His girlfriend was in quarantine in order to protect the island from COVID-19, and this person snuck into the establishment. Grenada has done so well so far, keeping COVID-19 off the island and keeping us safe. The Ministry of Health and the Royal Grenada Police Force have done a fantastic job keeping us all safe. But then you have stupid people who just don't care about anyone. They only care about themselves, who are putting us all at risk. And it's so unfair. I don't understand how people can be so selfish. It's as though we have no self-control, no self-discipline. It's as though certain people just don't care about anyone. In light of what's been happening, the Royal Grenada Police Force is enforcing rules when it comes to wearing masks. If you are walking around in public, you have to wear a mask, especially if you're on a bus. If you are caught not wearing a mask, you will be fined $350. And those 4 people who broke the quarantine COVID-19 rules, they could be fined up to 10,000 EC. If people had a little bit of self-control and self-discipline, not just in Grenada but across the world, we should have rid ourselves of this terrible virus. I'm hoping that after these situations, people will start to follow the rules so that we can all be safe. I follow a YouTuber called Bored and Bankrupt, and he's an English guy who lives, well, not lives, but he's traveling around at the moment, countries like Russia and Azerbaijan and so on and so forth. And he's very Jack the Lad and, you know, having a laugh. But I never once saw him wear a mask. I never once saw him practice social distancing. And then he caught COVID-19. And he made a video on it, which he deleted, but you can still find it because, as usual on YouTube, people will record your video. Just put in Bored and Bankrupt COVID-19 and you'll see the video where he thought he was going to die. He didn't, but he was in a very bad way, and he said he watched people die around him. Yeah, just look at that video to understand how bad it can be, and that because we see people recover, I think people believe that if they get it, they're going to recover. That's not always the case. You may be the unlucky one who does not recover. And what I've heard is, even when you do recover, you do suffer lasting health problems. Why do people take the risk with COVID-19? Thanks for checking out my channel. Thanks for looking at this video. If you like what you see on my channel, please subscribe, leave a comment, give me a thumbs up, and please check out my new series, Murals Across Grenada.